If you're in your 20s, there's a very high chance that most conversations with your parents start something like, "Oh, how was work? How's Priya doing?" and somehow end up with, "Oh, by the way, did you see that biodata we sent you on WhatsApp?" And you're just sitting there like, "Oh my god, like what did I just walk into?" This is that phase of life where decisions suddenly start feeling heavier, and you could say maybe life's changing, when all you're trying to do is just stay chill and expect things will work themselves out. But if you're genuinely considering the arranged marriage route, and by the way, I don't feel like that's a bad idea at all. I got married to my husband through arranged. I need you to hear this because I want to share a few things that actually help you choose the right person for you, not just someone who looks right on paper. Because arranged marriage is basically something like speed dating with life altering decisions and a whole bunch of unwanted opinions along the way. So, let's talk. So, this is the first most important thing you have to do before saying, "Is he too short, too ugly, too thin, too nerdy for me?" Pause and ask, "Do I actually know what I want?" Whether you've dated one person long term or gone on 15 odd dates in your life or not dated anybody at all, you have most likely met a whole bunch of guys through school, college, and now possibly at work. After meeting all these different people in your life, you do start realizing a few things: qualities you like in people and admire in guys, and what you absolutely cannot deal with. So, these are your negotiables and non negotiables. We'll come back to this in just 1 second, but listen to me, nobody's perfect, not even you. I know I sound like one of those aunties that say like, "Oh, compromise to karna hi padega beta." But it's true. No one is perfect. No one. But having preferences does not make you difficult at all. It makes you fully honest. By the way, this is me getting very personal on this video because I do feel like this is a phase which so many of us go through in this life without getting any sort of a guideline to it. And I genuinely want each and every one of you to find the match of your dreams. I will explain in another video why I put these exact preferences which you can see here and how I got my now husband to match 4 out of 4 of these preferences. Manifesting, right? But now coming back to negotiables and non-negotiables, I have a quick mini task for you. I need you to write down 5 non-negotiables. You must have done this earlier, but I need you to do it again, or maybe you might have thought of it, but I need you to pen it down. 5 non-negotiables, not even one more than 5, because I mean, let's be real, we're not custom building a husband here. It's not Build-A-Bear. Think about these 5 non-negotiables very carefully, not what sounds impressive, not what looks good on paper to anyone else. What you actually need to feel safe, respected, and at peace. Everything else beyond these 5 points, be open, be flexible. Think of this list like a filter. It helps you see clearly who could actually really be your person and who just isn't, and that's okay. There is absolutely no right list or a wrong list. There's only one list, and that's your list. So you need to make this list, and you have to understand within yourself what it is that you actually want. Otherwise, maybe you're just agreeing to a proposal that just came your way and not really choosing your life partner. And then arrange setup, whether we like it or not, we don't have years and years to figure things out. You have maybe a few meetings. If you're lucky, maybe a couple of months to meet that person, test it out. And of course, there's a whole lot of pressure as a cherry on top. So instead of asking, "Is he the man of my dreams? Is he my Prince Charming?" try asking something like, "Is he someone that I can spend the rest of my life with? Can I talk to him without rehearsing every single sentence in my head? Can I disagree with him without like it turning dramatic maybe? Can I imagine normal days with him instead of just going on trips and stuff like that?" You're not choosing a holiday partner. You're choosing someone you're going to be spending every single day with. You're going to be doing daily life with this person. And compatibility, well, compatibility is totally underrated. You need someone to match you. Nothing else matters. Number 3, watch patterns, not personality highlights. Everyone is charming in the beginning. Everyone puts up the best version of themselves. It's not an act, it's just the way people are when they first meet you and how they present themselves to the outside world. So don't get distracted by things like, oh, he speaks so well, or how impressive his profile looks. Oh, he went abroad to study. Wow, that sounds interesting. Or how nicely he behaved to you once. Maybe he picked you up on your first date. That doesn't make him your Prince Charming. Look for patterns. This is the most important thing. You have to look for patterns. Whether you meet him at 1 p.m. for lunch, or if you talk to him on a call at 1 a.m., does he give you the same energy? Is he consistent with how he behaves with you and his manners, or do they get diluted over time? People can put up a show for some time, but try to find that real person and accept that version of him over the show and the exterior, because that's who you have to live with. Does his personality change depending on who he's around? Pay attention to this because it's so important. Of course, we are different with different people, but more or less, is his personality the same with his friends, with you, with his family? Consistency and kindness is far more important here than simply being impressive. One polite meeting doesn't make someone kind. Consistency does. Number 4. How do you feel after meeting him? That's your biggest clue. This is my absolute favorite filter. After you meet him, check this within yourself. Do you feel calm or weirdly drained? Energies do matter. Do you feel heard and understood, or maybe slightly confused with what just happened? Like, what kind of a meeting was that? If you need 2 hours to emotionally recover even after a phone call, that's something to think about. Because decisions are expected so quickly in this process, people sometimes tend to emotionally rush and think that opening the deepest, darkest side of themselves will help them connect with the other person very quickly. Deep conversations, future talk, suddenly discussing kids' schools. Yeah, pause, hold on. Just a second, please hold on. Ask yourself, is this naturally flowing, or are we trying to emotionally compensate for lack of time? Real connection shouldn't feel rushed. It should feel steady. And if the connection is actually real, the unfolding of a partner, like a potential partner's personality, will be so much more fun over time than knowing all of them in one single night. Just trust me on this. Number 6, how he handles disagreement. And this matters way more than agreement, by the way. You don't need to fight, but you do need a difference or two between you guys. And this could be about anything. It could be maybe about living arrangements, maybe career choices, maybe timelines on how you think things should go, or absolutely whatever. Like whatever you both may not seem to see eye to eye on. When this disagreement does happen, notice this very carefully. Does he listen, or immediately defend and think only his opinion is right? Does he fully dismiss you, or actually try to understand you? Does he feel the need to win? Marriage isn't about agreeing on everything. It's also about how safely and comfortably you can disagree. Like, that matters so much. You'll have your parents as an example. I'm just saying. Lastly, remember, arranged marriage is not settling. Choosing someone doesn't mean you're compromising your life away. It means you're actually choosing a personality you can grow with, a mindset that you can respect, a dynamic that allows you to become more and more of yourself. And that's such a beautiful thing. Arranged marriage isn't scary because it's arranged. It's scary because it asks you to be very clear very quickly about yourself, about what it is that you need and you want. So, take your time internally. Even if things are moving fast externally, don't worry about that. Observe more. over romanticize just a little bit less. Romance will come. I promise you, romance will come, but over romanticize the whole situation just a little bit less at the start. And trust that wanting the right kind of person is not being picky. If this video helped you, do share with your friends and maybe who might need this. And subscribe for more such advice. See you in the next video. Bye.